Bitcoin is sitting at $57,700 and rejecting off our trend line, the SPY, opening up higher today after a big move yesterday. Initially, the stock market sold off throughout the day yesterday and then bounced with the SPY sitting at 555 and the Qs at 457. So, are we going to see this stock market rally continue, or have we seen the top? We're going to discuss that, plus what the PPI data means for the markets and who is buying. All right, guys, if that sounds good to you, you know what to do. Be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. And let's get into the video. So first off, I want to start out with PPI. Wholesales prices rose 0.2% in August, which was in line with expectations. And that is looking good for the market. We have gold breaking out to new all-time highs, sitting at 252. So it looks like we may go up for that $2,600 that we've been calling for here on this channel for some time, and possibly going higher. What else is going on in the markets? Copper looks like it has possibly found the bottom and is breaking out of this daily trend, came back down to retest and is now moving higher, setting at 420. So that's looking good overall, and that just kind of shows that maybe there is going to be a bit of increasing demand for things such as copper as the economy continues to uh, struggle and try to make a turnaround. We know that we have the Fed rates coming next week, and we also have HSI hitting our trend line again and finding some support. HSI at 17,228. And this looks like this could be a little island reversal potentially sitting in here for HSI. We will probably most likely go up and close that gap there in the short term. Nevertheless, I think over the long term, I think some of these emerging markets are looking very good. As we know, HSI has been extremely oversold for the past several years, and it looks like it is just starting to really turn around this year. A lot of people are saying this is similar to what the US saw back in 08, 09. So they're expecting that something like this market may do very well over the next several years. But this is what I wanted to mention today. Who is buying? We have hedge funds managers buying. We have these big wealthy people buying this dip. And billionaire Steve Cohen, 0.72, is preparing to return billions of dollars to investors for the first time, joining multi-strategy hedge fund peer, looking for ways to restrict their assets after a period of explosive growth. A lot of these guys, these hedge fund managers, they are buying these dips. The markets seem to be oversold here in the shorter term time frame. So let's just go back to the SPY. We see we came down, got that gap fill, and came down right around to the 382 before seeing a little bounce. Are we going to go higher and break these all-time highs? Well, we will have to see if that happens, or if we do get rejected here and potentially go down and fill that second gap. That's a real possibility on the Qs. We closed the second gap, filled both these gaps, and found buying here at the 618. So it's just amazing how this technical analysis works. So we could potentially go back up here and reject, or we could continue to go higher. that is a possibility. We saw stocks like Nvidia getting bought up yesterday. We had Amazon moving higher, filling this gap fill here at 184. Um, there's another gap fill up here for Amazon at 192, so I did want to mention that. But as I mentioned down here, that I thought this stock would come back as we move into fall, and we know that generally the last part of the year, the Santa Claus rally, Black Friday sales, things such as that, this type of stock does very well. So it is possible this continues to rally, but this did hit our first take profit zone. So I did take profits on that trade. Another stock to look at is Tesla, setting at 227. This was moving up here a bit this morning. It was attempting to break out. It rejected. If we can get through this pennant here, well, I do think we are going much higher for Tesla. First take profit zone would be right around that 250 to 260 dollar range, and I do think Tesla could go higher. There is another gap fill up higher around that 280 dollar range, so that's a real possibility. And we have one of the crypto miners. This is BitDeer several times here on this channel, and it shows I am getting disconnected and I am reconnected, so hopefully you all are still with me. But this is BitDeer, ticker symbol BTDR, one of the crypto miners. Rallying here this morning a little bit, breaking through our trend line, and we see this trend line on several of these higher risk assets, such as these small cap stocks and crypto miners. We've been in a downtrend for a while now. On Bitcoin and some of these risk on assets, and they are starting to break those daily trends. So that is good. I do suspect that you could possibly come back down to retest these lower levels one more time before moving up. That's the type of patterns that you want to look for on the charts if you're trying to trade. As an investor, I think this is still a good spot buy. It's not something that I would hold long term, but something I would look to hold over the midterm, say the next 6 to 12 months. If you're interested in buying stocks, commodities, or crypto, you can do so on Robinhood. Right now, Robinhood is offering a 1% boost plus 8 times the national savings rate, and they allow you to begin building your portfolio with just as little as $1. They allow you to buy stocks, options, ETFs, and trade commission free. Plus, they offer crypto such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, as well as gold. So if you're interested, there is a link down below, and when you use that link, you will receive one additional free stock. Let's move on to Bitcoin and crypto and discuss what is going on there. I just wanted to start out with this heat map, liquidation map for Bitcoin. This is the weekly. We saw that we came down, swept this liquidity, swept some up here, so there is a possibility that we come back down again one more time. I think that's a real possibility. That is on the weekly, but if we zoom out to the monthly, I wanted to show you the bigger picture here because I do think there is that possibility that we do go lower, maybe here in the coming days or possibly weeks, but on the monthly, it's mostly to the upside. And if we can get through that $60,000 level, well, I think we are going much higher. We have more liquidity setting higher when you zoom out further. But let's move back to the Bitcoin price chart because I want to start with that. And what I think is important here is we did see this higher second low, and we saw buying again yesterday, of course, rejecting off here at this $58,700 level. So we may pull back here a little bit. in the short term. Nevertheless, I do think this is starting to make a bullish turn, and I think that we could see Bitcoin back above 60,000 here in the coming days and weeks. That seems like a real possibility. There is the possibility that we do go slightly lower. Um, but nevertheless, it does look like Bitcoin is starting to turn the corner here, and we know that the fourth quarter is typically bullish for Bitcoin and crypto as well as risk on assets. And so I wanted to take a look at some of these altcoins today, and this is the total 3 market cap, which is everything minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. Um, and what I wanted to point out here, this is the weekly chart. So ever since back in uh, April, really, we have been on this bottom side of the range. We got that nice little pop there in July before we came back down, and we again are just really putting in a series of higher lows overall, and we may actually be forming some sort of little inverse head and shoulders pattern here. But nevertheless, I do think that these cryptos are going much higher. And if we take, say, a good way to check this out or to measure this is kind of a bullish flag pattern. So if we just take this line here, and that is our flag pole. So when this breaks out, you can see that this could go much higher. And so I do think that we do see crypto go much higher um, in Q4 this year and into 2025. We do know that a lot of times these things move up in legs. And so if this is the first leg, and then we get that second wave, and then we may see one more push even higher for that final blow off top. So that is something to keep in mind moving forward. I do think that we probably do see that in 2025. And another thing we can take a look at is the Bitcoin dominance. Again, looks like we may have hit a top for the Bitcoin dominance. Can it go higher? Yes, but it seems to be rejecting right around this 58% level. So if we can start breaking down on that, well, then you will really start to see some of these altcoins take off. Um, we have Ethereum setting at 23.24, falling here just a bit this morning, but it looks like Ethereum is attempting to bounce and uh, find some buys, even though it's been much weaker than several of the other altcoins over the past month or so. Um, Nevertheless, I still think this is a great entry point. As you can see, we're sitting here at the 618, which is the golden pocket, and also lines up with our upward sloping trend line on Ethereum. Solana setting at 134, just continuing to range sideways. I think Solana is a very good option. Um, Chainlink setting at $10.60. And this is what I wanted to point out. This was similar to what we saw on that BitDeer chart, where we had this downwards sloping trend line on the daily, and we are potentially going to break out of that. So if that happens, well, you could see Chainlink going to like $12 here in the coming days. I do think that is a real possibility. Uh, Nevertheless, if we can get to that area, I do think Solana or Chainlink rather goes much higher. Definitely goes much higher, I do believe, over the next 6 to 12 months. Another coin we can take a look at is GRT. So I wanted to point this out. This is on the 4-hour chart. We have this trend line here. Looks like we are putting in potentially an inverse head and shoulders where you take it from here or on this downward sloping trend line. And if we take a measurement of that inverse head and shoulders from the bottom to the neckline, and just put that up here, you see that that takes us somewhere around 16 cents. So we could see a breakout here very soon for GRT. And if we just zoom out on this chart, this is one of those charts that I just wanted to show you. This coin here um, hasn't done too well recently. Of course, there's been a lot of weakness in the crypto sector this summer. So give me just 1 second here, guys. Sorry about that. Using the wrong keyboard there. Nevertheless, if we zoom out here to the daily chart, I just wanted to point this out. A lot of these coins have found support around this area, but this is one of those that's been beaten down and it's come back down to this trend line. So you are starting to see this on a lot of charts, particularly the high risk assets, where you get a series of higher lows. We came back down to touch that trend line once again. And so as a spot buyer, I'd be very interested in this level. Typically to me, this has always been kind of the optimal point or the most reliable point for getting in on investments. If you can buy here on the second dip and identify that, I do think that's a good potential entry. That really shows you that there's a reversal or a turnaround. So you can see off the lows here in 2022 and into the October 2023 lows before we got that big run up, which is, I think, what we will probably see this fall, and maybe this goes much higher. Nevertheless, what you never know about this second higher low is if you potentially do still have weakness and fall further. That's the one big thing about these risk assets. These are high risk, and this is something that I'm only looking to hold throughout this bull cycle. And of course, if we go back up to some of these other levels, then I will be taking profits. Um, I have learned that the hard way this crypto cycle is be sure to take your profits, because when we were running up here, everyone thought that the bull run was going to continue only to sell off drastically. So definitely be sure to take profits along the way. If you are interested in buying, um, sorry guys, let me log out of this and reload this. And of course, it will not let me do so. I was doing a little buying this morning. I was buying GRT. But if you're interested in buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, Solana, or many more, you can do so with iTrust Capital. iTrust Capital allows you to buy, sell, and trade crypto, gold, and silver 24/7 in a low cost, no monthly fee, tax advantage IRA. Plus, they have over 5,000 plus 5-star reviews on Google. So if you're interested, there is a link below. When you sign up, you will receive an additional $100 with that link, and they allow you to roll over a portion or all of your 401k or IRA with iTrust. And what I like about iTrust, they actually have people that you can call and talk to. All right, guys, it is Thursday. It has been an interesting week in the markets. We have seen things such as IPOs breaking out this week, moving up. Um, so we are in those final stages, I do believe, of the stock market, probably continuing to go higher for the next 6, 12, or possibly 18 months. Um, we will need to see the stock market break those all-time highs. I think we will know something here in the coming weeks and months, which direction this is going. Typically, the stock market does rally into these presidential elections, so that will be something to keep an eye on. And if we do continue to put in a series of lower highs for the stock market, well, that may indicate that the top is in, so that's something to keep an eye on. But anyway, be sure to follow me over here on X at Mind of Financier. I am Mind of the Financier on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, so you can follow me there as well. But over here on X, I post anything that I see that has to do with the markets, including stocks, commodities, and crypto. So you can follow me over there to get the latest updates. All right, guys. Like I said, it is Thursday. Friday is almost here. The weekend is right around the corner. I hope you all are having a great day today. Until next time, guys, take care, be legendary, and peace out.